this is Amanda from Story in Stone. How are you today? I hope you have had a great February. We're here today to do the reading for March. Even though I've started this new format where I'm going to talk more about esoterical and spiritual stuff and personal development, which is what I actually do within Story in Stone, I still want to keep the fun there. So I don't want everything to be really, dark and dismal, which is often what happens when you are doing self-development. So I'm going to keep doing these readings, but I will only do the reading at the beginning of the month. I won't have time to do the mid-month catch-up anymore. So from March, which is this reading, I'll just be doing the one reading at the beginning of the month. Okay, so before we start, I want to just say that this is a general reading for the collective, so it may not necessarily resonate with you, and that's okay. Take what does resonate and just leave the rest. The cards I'm using today are, of course, the gold foil tarot, my favorite tarot deck at the moment. And then because it is new moon today when I release the video, not obviously today when I'm recording, but on the day that you will see this video, it is new moon in Pisces. I think it's about 8:45 in Perth in the morning. And so I'm going to pull a couple of cards from Yasmin Boland's Moonology Manifestation Oracle cards. Okay, so I have already laid the cards out, and I can see it's going to be a pretty good month, I think. There's a few things that there's a bit of a change coming, why are we surprised at that? Like I've said many times before, the only thing we can count on is change. So there is going to be a bit of that this month. Looking at the overview cards, I have two swords cards. So I have the Page of Swords and I have the Ace of Swords. Now, both of these cards can represent new beginnings. Ace of Swords definitely represents new beginnings. The Page of Swords represents new beginnings, but both of them represent new beginnings in new ideas, new concepts, or new ways of living. And the Page of Swords, he's at the very beginning of his journey. So he's just discovering his ability to push forward with a new concept or a new idea and provide action to make it come to fruition, basically. So I feel like this month we may find ourselves learning stuff that we didn't know about before. So seeing other people, excuse me, as I'm talking about this, I'm seeing a guru meditating on a mountain. So what it's saying to me is that you might find someone who you go, oh my God, look at them. They're so chilled, they're so zen, they're so got their act together. I want to be like that. And you might start studying under a spiritual leadership, or you might go, what are they doing in their life that I can bring into my life without changing the status quo, a lot. It's a very quick energy, the swords, they're very quick moving energy. So be prepared for things to happen quite quickly. But so far, a really good look at the month of March. Excuse me. Okay. Why is it every time you turn the video on to talk, your throat gets croaky? Spiritually, that usually means for me that there is messages that I need to give. So I'll often clear my throat when I'm giving a reading. I often clear my throat or my nose runs. But yeah, it always does it. When you start to video, you start to feel that croaky voice and you're like, are you serious? So anyway, the details of this month. We have a major arcana card there. We have Judgment. And then we have the Four of Pentacles. So we'll deal with Judgment first. So Judgment is about for me, it's about, well, it could be about, are you being judged by someone unfairly or fairly, or are you judging something or a situation or a person unfairly or fairly? Have you been a bit judgmental lately, and do you need to pull your head in, basically? What this card on a bigger picture means is that you could be having a spiritual awakening. There could be things that have happened in your life that make you go, you know what? This is all bullshit. And I just need to pull back and go within for the answers, because right now, let's face it, social media, government, big media, mainstream media, none of them are giving us the answers. They're just giving you what they want you to hear. So this is really talking about going within and checking on yourself, checking on your morals and your ethics, checking on how you feel about that. And I think I've mentioned this before, but when you hear something or you read something, rather than just accepting it, take it within and say, do I accept this as my truth? And then wait and listen. So this is what this card is saying. And I feel like it's something to do with your spirituality, which would go well with the Ace of Swords, because that's about brand new concepts or new ways of living, which can often be based off a spiritual lesson that you've learned. So there's some major changes coming in that form at the moment for you. Then we've got the Four of Pentacles. Now, the Four of Pentacles is about hoarding money in a mundane term. It's about collecting because you're worried that you won't have enough to survive. And this card is saying to you, stop stressing. The more you think about what you don't want, the more you're going to bring that into your life. So just stop. Stop stressing that you won't have enough money. And so this is just saying, just think about it. Now, also, as I'm talking, they're saying to me, it's not just money, it's things as well. Don't gather things in case you might need it, Let it go. You have to have that flow in your life, because if you don't, you're going to get stagnant areas, stagnant pools of energy in your house, and they're going to create havoc in your life. So you need to make sure that everything's flowing in, flowing out. If you don't use it, lose it. You don't need it. But this card is telling you today that maybe you don't need as much as you think you need to have a good life. And often we think we need all this cash. I'll be happy when I'm earning $1 million. Well, most of us don't need $1 million to be happy, It's just living a life that brings you total joy, not living a life full of things that mean nothing to you because that's what Instagram or social media or mainstream media tell us that we're supposed to do. So it's really about the flow of things in and out, but in particular your money. So I'm not saying go ahead, splurge, spend that mortgage payment on a big dinner out at sea restaurant. What I'm saying is don't be stressed about the fact that you may not have money, because if you believe that the universe will provide for you, she will. So that's the details. Okay, so now we're going to go into the challenges. And we have another major arcana card here. It's the Death card. Dun, 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 dun. A lot of people worry about it when they see the Death card in their reading. And honest to God, in my 30-something years of reading, I've never had the Death card mean actual physical death, ever. Never, ever, ever. However, it does mean that things are leaving your life, whether you like them or not, or whether you want them to or not. And this is good for us because, once again, I'm going back to that flow, change is the thing that we can always rely on in our life. There will always be change. And this Death card is saying that there is a challenge for you this month because there's going to be something, a door closing or someone leaving your life or something leaving your life, and you won't really be ready for it to go, but it's going. It needs to go. because right beside the Death card is the Ace of Wands, which is all about physical new beginnings. So maybe you're moving. Maybe you've just moved like we have. But it's about a physical new beginning. But this physical new beginning can't start until you let the old go. So that's your challenge for this month. Be willing to let the old go so that the new can come in and take that space. Because our lives are like vacuums. If you take something away from it, the universe will send new energy in to fill that space. Okay? So that is your challenge. And I know it can be hard. I mean, I find it really hard to let go of old stuff. You know, I don't know if you can see behind me, but I've got 1, 2, 3 books, 3 bookshelves full of books. And I can't let them go. And I've already done a huge cull, but I can't let them go. And then I've got my Kindle too, which has got books all on it. And I've got about 18 books in my bedroom, which are to be read. So I find it really hard to let stuff go, especially because if I think, oh, I might need that one day. And you have to let these things go, you know. If it's meant to stay in your life, it will. But if it's not, then let it go. Yeah, that's your challenge. Be willing to let the past go. Let something from your past go so that the new can come in. And I feel like it's something physical. So whether you're in the middle of doing a declutter and you're starting to lose motivation to let go of stuff, and I'll just put that away and I'll deal with it later. Don't deal with it now. That will make your life a lot easier this month. Okay, so now when we go into the opportunities for this month, we have 2 fantastic cards. They're both cup cards. So they're all about our emotions and the relationships we have with self, with others. And we have the 9 of Cups. The 9 of Cups is a great card. It says, you have made it. Now in numerology, 9 is all about completion. In tarot, the 10 card is more about completion. But the 9 card is basically saying, look, you're here, you've made it. You just got that little bit extra to go. And 9 is a very humanitarian type number. And so this is saying, don't be afraid to share your good fortune with others that maybe don't have all that you have. When it's talking about a Cups card, it's talking about emotional abundance. It also does talk about financial abundance as well, but this is really talking about the abundance you feel when you have the right people in your life and you know that you're there for them and that they're there for you, that they'll help you out if you're in a bit of a pickle. So it's that real feeling of I am being embraced by my tribe, which is a really, really great positive feeling this month. And I feel that it may have something to do with your spiritual awakening if you go back to our details section and the Judgment card. Then we have, beside the 9 of Cups, we have the 2 of Cups. Now, if you've watched any of my readings before, you'll know that the 2 of Cups for me is my soulmate card. So it could be about spending time with your soulmate. Once again, I'm just going to reiterate that the soulmate in your life may not necessarily be your partner, your romantic partner. It could be your business partner, it could be your best friend, it could be a sibling, it could be a parent. It could just be, someone in your life who really knows what makes you click. Often soulmate relationships can cause quite a bit of tension in our life because they're here to teach us a lesson and vice versa. So often soulmates will actually clash with us in some way. So people often think about soulmate love as, you catch someone's eye across a crowded room and its sparks are flying and it's love at first sight. And that can be part of a soulmate relationship, most probably more romantic soulmate relationship. But often you find once that initial first flush of love has worn off, that there will be things that your soulmate does to annoy you. And they're usually things that you don't like about yourself. So here is this opportunity. Who is the soulmate in your life that rubs you the wrong way? You need to look at them. This is your opportunity to look at what annoys you about them and go within and say, do I do this? Why do I do this? And how can I change what I'm doing so that it doesn't annoy me anymore? Really, it's really very simple. So there is this real opportunity for you to go deeper within yourself. So this really harks back to the Judgment card and the spiritual awakening, because we often have to deal with our shadow side to be able to go that bit deeper within our spiritual practice. And this card is saying, here we go, here's the opportunity. So whether you have someone who you class as a soulmate in your life, or whether you're going to meet someone this month who gives you that soulmate vibe, whether that's romantic or platonic, this is a really good opportunity for you to go deeper, to look at what annoys you or what rubs you the wrong way about this person, and go within and see how you manifest that annoyance in your own life or in your own personality, and what you can do about it. Like, is it something you can fix, or is it just a quirk and you just need to accept it, that that's a part of you, and let it come into the light? So it's a really, the opportunities here for this month to do with relationships and emotions is really, really quite abundant for you. So we really have quite a good month coming up for us. But that's not to say that there won't be a few uncomfortable moments, because you've got that Death card in there. He wants you to close some doors. He wants you to move forward a little bit. Thankfully, he hasn't brought the Tower card with him, because then I'd say you're going to get kicked up the arse, and nobody wants that. So this Death card is warning you. Do this now of your own accord, and things will be easier. Otherwise, the Tower card's going to come in maybe next month and say, okay, you didn't do what I asked you to do, so now I'm going to make you do what you need to do to get to where you're supposed to be. So that's the March reading. I'm now going to pull a couple of cards from the Moonology Manifestation Oracle cards. What should we ask? It's because it's a new moon today, and it's a new moon in Pisces. So Pisces are very all about spiritual practice and intuition and all the woo-woo stuff. So one of my favorite new moons. So let's see. What do we need to look out for on this new moon in Pisces? What do we need to look out for in the new moon in Pisces for the collective? That's funny. Okay, so I've drawn 3 cards. The first card is the last quarter moon in Capricorn, and it's all about leaving the past behind. So there's your Death card again coming through for you. Leave that past behind. Let go of what no longer serves you. It's a new moon. A new moon is all about thinking about what we want to manifest in our lives. So this is really pertinent information for you. It's saying don't pull that past stuff into the future with you, or into your present, because then it's going to affect the future. Then you've got full moon in Capricorn, which is take a reality check. And Capricorns are usually pretty quite serious. They're one of the more serious zodiacs of the actual zodiac. And you've just pulled 2. You've pulled the last quarter moon in Capricorn and the full moon in Capricorn. And the the full moon in Capricorn is talking about taking a reality check. So to me, this is looking, when I think about this, it's saying just stop for a minute. If you're letting your brain, your thoughts run wild and you're overthinking and you're creating anxiety and stress in your life by thinking about things that haven't happened and may never happen, then this card is saying stop that. Think about now, what is happening right now in your present moment? Are you in any danger? Do you need to leave the situation? Are you safe? Think of it like that. So it's telling you just look at things as they are, not as they were or as you think they might be, because there are many outcomes for our future. And we don't know what's going to happen, but this is saying just take a reality check. Just think about what's happening right now in your life, in this present moment. And unless you're running from a bear or being chased by thieves or whatever, you should be feeling pretty safe. Which then comes on to the third card that I've pulled, which is the last quarter moon in Cancer. Cancer, our sensitive soul zodiac, and she's talking about taking a breather. So really, really good advice for this new moon. Leave that past behind. Take a reality check. Are you catastrophizing what might happen, even though you don't know what happened? Nothing may happen in your future. Stop and have a reality check about what is actually happening in your life right now in this present moment, and breathe. Take a breath. Okay? We can't keep going. That's going to give you adrenal fatigue. It's really bad for our physical bodies. So this card is just saying, just stop and breathe. Just think about what's happening. Go within. Breathe, rest, reflect. All those things that I talk about all the time. Just take a breather before you start again. So that's it for March. Pretty good month, I think. Don't you agree? If you have any questions, please put them in the comment section below, either on my Facebook page or my YouTube channel. If you like this video and you're watching on my YouTube channel, I would love it if you could like, subscribe, comment, and even share if you think someone you know would get benefit from this video. I want to thank you today for staying to the end. I really, really appreciate it, and it really helps me get these videos out to more people. Have a great March, and I will see you in my next video.